wonderful experience. When Terry heard my story, he came up to me and I said, well, there's one thing I have to warn you about. I'm a crier. And he's like, oh, I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll get back to you. So bear with me if I break down. But I'm a Habitat working, building a house. There was a house across the street, very run down, and it was Tuesday. So we're getting our subway, it's great, and I look across the street, and there's Ann sitting on the front porch with this man who we've seen kind of tool around in his yard. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to walk over there. So I walk over, and Ann's sitting on the front porch praying with this gentleman. And when they were done, you know, I said, hi, I'm Lisa. Sat down, introduced myself. He said, hi, my name is Gibson. You know, whatever. And Ann said, he's a little down on his luck. He just lost his job. And so I was just praying with him. So from there, fine, we had lunch. Hey, would you like a lunch? Ann said, we promise you a lunch every day this week. And I told her, if I have to eat half a sandwich, half a cookie, and half a bag of chips, and guaranteed, we'll give the man a lunch. So that was Tuesday. Wednesday, we got on the bus. We get in that big field. We're standing around. Lori's leading us in some stretches, and we start talking about that man across the street. And so I said, well, you know, Ann spent some time with him, and he stayed. When they told him that he needed to leave, he stayed. He had keys to a Salvation Army kind of thing, and he would go and stay in there until they came and they said, you gotta get out. So he left, and he was one of those people that got shipped down to the convention center, and he said it was no prize, if you will. He said it was dark, and the smell you'll never forget. The smell of death was there. There were people dying all around him. You couldn't go outside because people were shooting. So it was a very unsafe, dark, you know, sad place to be. The man said, I'm not sad. You know, I'm full of faith. God will provide. Don't feel sorry for me. So he's telling the story, and last month he lost his job. So we're in our little stretching circle, and there's another man in our group. His name is Jerry, if you haven't met him. Jerry is also not a member of the church. His niece invited him to come along. So telling this story, and Jerry reaches in his pocket, and he walks forward and hands me a $100 bill, and he said, I want you to give this to this man. He said, my mother sent me here with $100 and said, when you get there, you do with it what you think you need to do with it. And he said, I want this to go to Gibson. From there, somebody next to him dug in his pocket $50, $20, $5, $2, didn't matter. That was Wednesday. I said, we'll give the money to him tomorrow, whatever we get, just to help him with his bills. So Wednesday afternoon, we sat in his backyard, and we ate our box lunches with him. And we got to know him, and we've kind of adopted him, if you will. And on Wednesday, he started crying, and he told Ann, I feel like my backyard is blessed because you guys are here, and I know I'm going to be okay. So, yeah, bear with me. So Thursday morning, I got up, I got a card, and I'm standing there, and this is really just kind of a grassroots moment. And those of you that have shared Gibson's backyard certainly understand it was just kind of a word of mouth. So on Thursday, we swarmed in his backyard like some hungry bees for Subway, right? But Gibson's not there, but we're in his backyard. But Ann's like, oh no, we're going to go in that house and we're going to get him. I bet he's sleeping. So we knock on the door, and Rich is like, well, Ann, I think the man is sleeping. She's like, no, he's coming out to lunch. So here he comes, and he's like, I know when I saw Ann, there was no way I could have come out. So he comes out, and he's sitting there, and he's like, you know, no crying today. I'm like, well, I don't know. So I get up, and I said, you know, Gibson, you've touched our hearts. You've touched many of our lives in this short amount of time. And the other thing, he said that many, many people have came, Habitat, different kind of churches, different communities, and nobody had ever spoke to him. And he said, I can't help the color of my skin. And he said, you guys are one of the first groups that have ever come over here and said hello and introduced yourselves. And it was just, if you meet the man, he's your neighbor, he's your friend, he's your family. So I told him, I said, he had told Ann that he was praying that morning. He didn't know how he was going to pay his bills. So I got up and I said, you know, I understand that you're down on your luck, but you're high on faith. And I don't know if the number 668 has ever meant anything to you, but it will today. And we gave him $668. So from there, that story got out to the wonderful people sitting in this room, and there is a grassroots effort, something that is now named the Gibson Project. We are going to pay this man's bills for the next year. So, and with the help of George and just some people in here, it started as, you know, if we could get 60 people to pay $10 a month. And I mean, that's 2 coffees at Starbucks. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I will skip the Frappuccino, go with the nice coffee, fine. We're going to send him money, and you know, then we're going, once this is over, and he's a smart man, he is a driven man. We went today, he was dressed up, he was sharp. He said, I was out hunting for a job, and you can't go just looking like I do when I'm in the yard. So we told him we've adopted him, and I'm sure there's other Gibsons out there, and so the Gibson Project hopefully will move forward. I'm sure that the people, Angela, the people that do the newsletters, and with the help of George and Ann and other, you know, leaders in your church, you'll hear about it. But if you could help Gibson and the future Gibsons, I know it was a blessing for me, and I was here for a reason. So thank you for allowing me to share.